Hey folks, I've been getting some questions about a homework problem like this one, and so I figured I'd make a video and kind of walk you through it so you get the idea. So the tricky thing here is that we're trying to use the product rule, right? So they're asking us for the equation of the tangent line, and we know that the slope of the tangent line is going to be the derivative of this function, f of x times g of x, evaluated at x equals 4. And we know the product rule is going to tell us that that's going to be the derivative of the first function evaluated at 4 times the second function plus the first function times the derivative of the second function. But the problem is, how in the world do we figure out f of 4, f prime of 4, g of 4, g prime of 4 when we don't have formulas for these functions? Instead, what they tell us is they give us the tangent line to the graph of f, and they give us the tangent line to the graph of g, and we're supposed to use that to figure out what those values are. So here's the key idea. So when they tell us that the tangent line to the graph of f at x equals 4 is 3x plus 1, what they're telling us is that if I were to graph this function f, so if this is y equals f of x, I mean, I don't know that this is what it looks like, but I'm just kind of trying to visualize here. At x equals 4, this tangent line is y equals 3x plus 1. And remember that the slope of the tangent line is the derivative. So this slope right here, this 3, that's going to be my derivative at 4. So that tells me that f prime of 4 equals 3, because the slope of the tangent line is the derivative, and I can look at 3x plus 1 and tell that the slope is 3, so that means that f prime of 4 is 3. And I can similarly look at the tangent line for my g and figure out that g prime of 4 is 5, because the slope of 5x minus 3 is 5. So that gives me the slopes that I want. What about the y values? Well, when I draw this little graph here, notice that this point right here is a point on the graph of the tangent line, but it's also a point on the graph of my function. So if I plug in x equals 4, my y value is 3 times 4 plus 1. That works out to be 13. And that tells me the y value at my graph of f at x equals 4. I don't know any other y values for my f function, but I do know that y value. So that gives me that f of 4 is 13. And again, similarly, I can plug in 4 for my x in my g tangent line to get 5 times 4 minus 3, which is 17. So that's going to give me 3 times 17, which is 51, plus 13 times 5, which is 65, is going to give me 116. So that's going to be my slope of my tangent line to this product function. Now, unfortunately, they're asking me for the equation of my tangent line. So I also need the y value. So my y value is going to be f of 4 times g of 4. F of 4 we figured out was 13. G of 4 we figured out was 17. And 13 times 17 works out to be 221. So now I go to my point slope form. My point slope form says y minus y0 equals m times x minus x0. My slope I figured out was 116. My x value is 4. And my y value is 221. And now I just have to work all that out. 116x, 116 times 4 works out to be 464. By the way, I'm doing this arithmetic in my head, so if I get it slightly wrong, hopefully you'll forgive me. So now we're going to add 221 to both sides. I didn't need to do that again. So adding 221 to both sides is going to be 116x. And then negative 464 plus 221 is going to be negative, again, I'm doing this in my head, 243. Pretty sure that's right. So that would be my tangent line, possibly not if I made an arithmetic mistake, but that's the idea for sure. So again, the subtle idea in this problem is that if they give you the equation of the tangent line, you can actually use that to figure out the slope and the y value of your function at that point. So hopefully once you realize that, you can use the quotient rule to work through part B. It's very, very similar. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope this helped. Good luck with the rest of the 3.4 assignment and have a great day. Bye.